All right, let's jump right in. We all think we know what sound is, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about it as a form of energy? An actual force that has real, tangible effects on the world around us, and even on our own bodies? The whole idea we're digging into today is that every single sound, from a gentle whisper to an angry shout, carries its own unique energy that influences everything, for better or for worse.
So the source we're looking at frames this in a really simple way. Think of it like this. On one side, you have sweet talk, the quiet words between lovers, a soothing voice, beautiful music. The claim is that this is a beneficial, positive influence. And on the other side, a heated argument. That creates a totally different energy, one that's harmful and negative. The core idea here is that sound isn't passive. It's not just noise, it's an active force.
And this really all boils down to one huge question. Can sound waves truly be powerful enough to act like some kind of medicine that heals us, or on the flip side, like a weapon that can actually destroy things? So let's unpack the evidence and the arguments that the source puts forward to try and answer that. To build its case, the source doesn't start in a science lab. Nope, it takes us way back, looking at ancient stories from folklore and scripture. The suggestion is that maybe these old tales hold a deeper truth about the incredible power that sound can have. First up, we've got the super famous story of Jericho. As the text tells it, an army marches around the city for 7 days. Then on the last day, they let out this one massive collective shout, combined with a blast of horns. And what happens? Well, according to the story, that sound alone was so powerful that the city's huge fortified walls just crumbled to the ground.
And then we have this incredible Chinese legend about a woman named Meng Jiangnu. The story goes that she found out her husband died while he was forced to work on the Great Wall. Her cries of grief were supposedly so intense, so filled with raw emotion, that they caused a massive section of the wall itself to just collapse. Now, the source is clear this is probably a literary exaggeration, but it uses the story to illustrate the kind of profound, destructive power that we've historically attributed to sound fueled by emotion.
And this leads us to maybe the most mind-bending example from the source. It brings up a theory that those gigantic stones of the Egyptian pyramids, they weren't dragged by thousands of people. Instead, they were levitated into place by priests who were chanting very specific, powerful incantations. It's a pretty wild idea, for sure, about sound literally shaping our physical world.
Okay, so after all these huge legends, the source pivots and tries to ground its theory in a single piece of scientific evidence. It focuses on this really strange and beautiful phenomenon called Chladni figures.
So what in the world are Chladni figures? Well, they're these absolutely stunning, intricate, and perfectly symmetrical patterns that show up when you sprinkle something like sand or salt on a surface and then make it vibrate with sound. The sound literally organizes random particles into these incredible geometric shapes.
And how it works is actually beautiful in its simplicity. You just take a thin metal plate, sprinkle a fine layer of sand over it, and then you draw a violin bow across the edge. As the sound vibrations race through the plate, the sand particles literally dance away from the spots with high vibration and settle into the calm, quiet points. And in doing so, they reveal the hidden geometric structure of the sound wave itself. It's a perfect visual of sound having a direct organizing effect on physical stuff.
Now, this is where things get really interesting. The source makes a huge logical leap here. It takes what we see with the sand, these beautiful tiny patterns, and it extrapolates a lot. The argument being made is, hey, if sound can organize sand on a plate, then it proves it can cause massive changes in the world around us. Like causing freak weather events, or, to bring it full circle, causing the walls of a city to collapse.
So, moving away from collapsing walls and sand patterns, how does any of this apply to our actual, everyday lives? Well, the source suggests we can basically classify all the sound energy we run into every day into two very distinct categories. So the breakdown is pretty straightforward. You've got your beneficial sounds on one side. These are the things that make us feel good, right? Beautiful music, a lover's whisper, birds chirping, things that bring joy and calm. And then, on the other side, you've got harmful sounds. These are the ones that promote anxiety and irritation. Think nagging, shouting, or even the harsh call of a crow.
And the rule of thumb the author gives is incredibly simple and totally personal. It's basically this: if you like a sound, if it makes you feel good, it's beneficial for your personal energy. And on the flip side, any sound that you find annoying, grating, or just unpleasant, well, that's actively harmful to you. It's all about your personal perception.
And get this, the source goes even one step further. It claims that the energy of the words we speak has this kind of boomerang effect.
When someone hurls an insult at another person, they're not just sending harmful sound energy out to that person, they're also harming themselves in the process, just by creating and being the source of that negativity.
So this all brings us to the final actionable takeaway, the so what of it all. If we accept that sound has this powerful energy, what are we actually supposed to do with that information in our lives?
Well, the author suggests we should start actively curating what they call our sound diet. It means we should consciously seek out sounds that bring us joy and peace, good music, nature sounds, positive chats. It also means we need to be mindful of the negative, draining sounds, whether they come from our environment or from other people. And maybe most importantly, it means we have to pay attention to the energy of the words we speak, because they affect not only others, but us too.
So as we wrap this up, the source leaves us with one final, simple thought to carry with us. Just take a second and think about your day so far. What kinds of sounds have you been swimming in? What kind of energy have you been listening to, creating, and soaking up?